It's the 15th anniversary of River City Wrestling. I'm with Boom Boom, Brendan Oliver.
I was just making sure my hair is okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, RCW just turned 15 years old. What, last month?
Yes, technically, sure.
Yeah, I know anniversary shows have been in April in the past, but
Yes.
we didn't have an event this April. So.
Technically, yeah, we didn't have an event in April, but yeah, it's supposed to be in April. But shh, it's in May.
That's right. This is almost my anniversary with RCW, so that works out too, because my anniversary's in June, but we won't have an event there either, so it's like a double anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
That's right, happy anniversary. I just want to ask you a few questions just about, wrestling and RCW in general.
Okay.
How long have you been a wrestling fan?
Golly. Since probably like 4 or 5, somewhere around that range.
What'd you grow up watching? Where'd you start with? Did you start here in Texas watching?
The first memory I remember clearly is Jake the Snake Roberts, DDT and Ricky Steamboat. Like I have a vivid memory of that. I was watching wrestling before that, but that's like the first one that really was like, whoa, I can't believe that actually happened. It stuck with me.
Was that Saturday Night's main event?
Oh, I think it was just like a wrestling challenge.
regular TV?
Yeah.
All right. I think I know the answer, but some people might not. My dozen of viewers, we're trying to reach out to them and maybe get dozens.
Right.
How'd you break into the business?
Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy, April 2000. And so he gave me my shot. I trained as a referee and manager and do everything. And 2002, I started RCW. But yeah, Shawn Michaels was the guy that opened the door.
So how'd you decide to go from being a wrestler, manager, ref to becoming a promoter?
It was always my goal to be a promoter.
Really?
But I wanted to do it the right way. Wink. And I wanted to go to a wrestling school and basically pay my dues before I became a promoter.
Very cool. Let's see. The first event you promoted, that was in 2002, April, I'm assuming, right?
Actually, it was in January. So
January.
It's another week on the Aprils.
Oh, so what do you remember about that event?
What do I remember? I remember being nervous as hell. Hoping that everything would turn out fine, that everybody would show up, and that people would show up, and people would have a good time. And it was a good show. It was a first card.
Who was on that show?
Oh man, it was like Prince against
Prince
Stefan.
Fontana?
Yes,
Yeah, I've met him.
Against Stefan Putski.
Don't know him. Related?
He is one of the Putskis.
So he's related to Scott?
Yes. And then, man, I'm trying to think of guys that you would know now.
Nobody with RCW now?
Nobody with RCW now. Although there was a Super Shot in the crowd. He was in the crowd.
Actually, I was going to ask about him later, but how long have you been working with Super Shot Joey Spector?
Oh, man. So before I started training at Shawn Michaels Wrestling Academy, there was this little twerp in line at the TWA shows, because much like the fans here, we would show up to the show way early in line. And there was this little twerp in line, man, talking to me about wrestling, and of course he knew it all, and had all these funny jokes and stuff like that, and it was Joey Spector. So
wow.
And that was even before both of us started training, and we just hit it off. I mean,
that's crazy.
He was the loudmouth know-it-all, and it's 2017. He's still a loudmouth know-it-all.
Things haven't changed since the time I've known him.
Yeah.
What is the hardest or the worst thing about promoting an event?
The hardest is just, WWE is synonymous. It's like when you say Coke and soda. Like I've heard people say, like, I want a Coke.
But they want Dr. Pepper.
But they want a Dr. Pepper. They're like, no, I wanted a Dr. Pepper. And Coke is synonymous with soda. WWE is synonymous with wrestling now. And so it's hard, especially with Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Impact Wrestling, WWE Network. It's hard to get people motivated to come out, to a venue, spend money, load up the family, load up the car, spend money, and to see, for the most part, and this isn't a slight, but see, for the most part, guys that they don't really know. They're up and comers. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
I mean, you've had some people who've gone into bigger and better things.
Sure, absolutely.
Ray Rose, IWGP Tag Team Champion right now, I believe.
Sure. It's like that.
Former RCW champion, what was his name back then? Christopher St. Gerard in NXT right now.
And I liken it to minor league baseball in that respect, and we have the San Antonio Missions, and it's like that too. I mean, the Missions are the draw.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then usually when you go to the Missions games, you don't know all the players, but that doesn't mean anything bad, because how many of them made the major leagues, and Mike Piazza went on to Hall of Fame career and stuff like that. So it's the same thing with independent wrestling.
You've brought in a lot of big names over the years. Are there any personal favorites, like childhood dream come true to get them in your ring?
I mean, of course, Mick Foley.
I wish I was there for that.
Great Muda.
Oh, really?
Yes, that was very early on. A lot of the guys the past, couple of years have just been, Jim Ross and Jeff Jarrett.
Oh, yeah. Since I've been announcing, we've just had an influx of talent coming through.
The Godfather was a lot of fun personally for me, because I love The Godfather, number one, but number two was involving my wife and the whole shebang with where I had to choose between fighting Godfather and the Hose.
Right.
I chose the Hose.
I think
I got in trouble.
Yeah, I can imagine. I think my favorite moment was, it was the last RCW event when you got in the ring with Rikishi.
Yeah.
A lot of fans appreciated that moment.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. But that's another one. I mean, Rikishi, it's just so many guys over the past couple of years. These are the guys I idolized. They're fantastic.
Well, another name that's been coming to a lot of shows for longer than I've been around is the Super Mex Hernandez.
Right.
How'd you first meet him?
So,
how did that relationship start?
At the end of 2000, we were booked in the show called NWA Southwest up in Dallas.
Okay.
And there was a guy named Hot Stuff Hernandez on the card, and it just clicked. We just became friends, and ever since then, he's always been close to me and been like a right-hand man. So, I don't. Sean is very much woven into the fabric of RCW, and I can't say enough about him.
Shifting gears a little bit, when I first started coming around about 6 years ago, there was no Boom Boom. You were just the honest promoter, that
Yes.
did right by the fans, and then Boom Boom came around. Got in the ring, gets his butt kicked. How'd you evolve into Boom Boom from the guy that people used to like?
So, the guy that came up with Boom Boom was Don Juan Andromeda, which is another RCW alumni, and
a lot of good memories working with him.
Yes, and he came up with the Boom Boom thing, and then it just kind of stuck with the guys, and we joke about it. Boom Boom, blah blah, because they all think I'm this walk the right path, married with children guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clean, squeaky guy. So it just kind of stuck, and then we started doing the hard body gimmick, myself and Joey Spector.
Maybe Hard Bodies 2.0, because
That's
tonight
right.
we saw the real Hard Bodies.
That's
I'll
right.
probably include some footage of you dancing with them. So.
That's right, yes, very awkwardly. And so it just kind of stuck, and a lot of people are enjoying the Boom Boom gimmick, and it kind of grew with Skidskrieg and some of the other guys, so it's been pretty cool.
I'm kind of partial to Skidskrieg's last manager, but we won't talk about him much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that wraps up the interview. I just want to close with like I said earlier, this is pretty much my 6th anniversary, and I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do things that I never dreamed I'd do in the ring. I never thought I'd be the Crimson Shadow. I never thought I'd be the announcer and hanging out with guys like Jeff Jarrett, which has been awesome. So thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.